Alright, so we just finished one example of multiplying matrices. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys one more, and then I'll show you guys kind of how this works on a calculator. So for this next example, let's define A as 2, 1, 3 across the top, and then the second row will go 1, -1, and 0. And then let's define matrix B as 1, 0 across the first row, 2, 1 across the second row, 3, 2 across the third row. Okay, and what I'd actually like to do here is I'd like to do B times A instead of A times B. So remember, first things first is you want to figure out, can I actually do this? If I look at B, this has 3 rows and 2 columns. Okay, so this is a 3 by 2, and then matrix A has 2 rows and 3 columns. Okay, so we see that these inside numbers match, which tells me I can multiply these, and these outside numbers are going to give me the dimensions of my final matrix. So when I'm done, this is going to be a 3 by 3 matrix. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is, remember, when we're doing this, it goes across the first row, okay, and then down the first column of the matrix that you were multiplying by. Alright, so B times A. Let's go ahead, and this one should be a little bit easier for us to have enough space to do this one. Okay, across, remember, we're going matrix B first, and then matrix A second. So across the top here, we're going to have 1 times 2 plus 0 times 1. Okay, so there's our first entry. Next, we're going to go across the first row again, but now down the second column. So next up, we're going to have 1 times 1 plus 0 times -1. Okay, and then again across the first row, down the second column, we'll have 1 times 3 plus 0 times 0. Okay, so there's my first row of my multiplication matrix right there. Alright, next up we're going to go for matrix B. We'll go across the second row, down the first column, so 2 times 2. Okay, plus 1 times 1. Remember, I told you can look at these entries right here, down the column, they should be the same thing. Also, if you look at the first entry in each of these, that should be consistent with the first entry across the row right here. Alright, so now we're going to do second row, second column. So it'll be 2 times 1 plus 1 times -1. Okay, and then we'll go across the second row, down the third column. So 2 times 3 plus 1 times 0. Okay, and then our third row here is going to be our third column times going down all of our columns in the second, or sorry, our third row times going down each of the columns in the second matrix. So 3 times 2 plus 2 times 1. Okay, and we're going to do 3 times 1 plus 2 times -1. Alright, and then for our last entry, we're going to have 3 times 3 plus 2 times 0. Okay, so as we can see, we ended up with a 3 by 3 matrix when we were done. Go ahead and I'm going to split this up into 2 steps. I don't mind you doing this in 1 step. If you'd like, I'm going to go ahead and do it in 2 for now. This is going to be 2 plus 0. Okay, this is going to be 1 plus 0. Okay, this is going to be 3 plus 0. Alright, this is going to be 4 plus 1. Alright, this one's going to be 2 minus 1. Sorry, 2 minus 1. And then this one's going to be 6 plus 0. We're going to have 6 plus 2. Alright, we're going to have 3 minus 2. And then we're going to have 9 plus 0. For our last little bit of math here, we just need to do the addition for these, and then we'll have our final answer. So this is going to be 2, 1, 3, this will be 5, 1, 6, and this will be 8, 1, and 9. Alright, so there is my final 3x3 matrix as my answer. Okay, real quickly, what I'd like to do is show you guys how to enter this on a calculator. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that up right now. And we're going to I'm going to show you how to do B times A on a calculator, and we'll also show you what A times B is. And we'll talk about why we get the answer that we do for B times A. Alright, so press second, and you see where it says matrix right here on the calculator. If you press that, what this is going to do is it's going to bring up some matrices. Now we need to actually edit these matrices first. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to edit A. And if we look at A is a 2x3 matrix, so we need to enter that in right here. So this is 2x3. And then what that'll allow me to do is it'll allow me to enter in all of this stuff for a 2x3 matrix. So I got 2, 1, 3, 1, -1, and then I've got 0. Okay. So I've got matrix A. Okay, I'm going to go back and do the same thing, second matrix, and I'm going to edit now matrix B. This is a 3x2 matrix, 3 rows and 2 columns. So I'm going to go 3x2, and I will enter this information. So I've got 1, 0, 2, 1, 3, and 2. Okay, so I've now got both my matrices entered. If I go second quit, that'll give me back to just the main screen, and what I now actually want to do is the operation. So if I go second matrix again, now where I actually have the matrices named and I've edited them, I can go ahead, if I want to do B times A, I can actually start out with matrix B times second matrix, and I can pick matrix A. So I'm asking it to do B times A, and when I press enter here, that will give me the same answer that we got of 2, 1, 3, 5, 1, 6, and 8, 1, 9. Okay, now I just want to mention real quick, if I went back and I flip this, and instead of doing B times A, I do A times B, I've mentioned this a couple times, we're not going to get the same answer. Okay, this is what we'll get when we do that, and the reason why that's the case is because if you look at matrix A, if we were going to do A times B, matrix A is a 2x3 matrix, okay, and then matrix B is a 3x2 matrix. So we do see we can do the matrix multiplication here because they both, the inside values match here, but what you see here is on the outside, these outside numbers are both 2, so when we're done we end up with a 2x2 matrix, which is why when we do the multiplication here, we get 13, 7, -1, and -1. Okay, so you cannot flip the order of these and get the same answer. Just want you guys to recognize that it does matter the order in which they are written down. So that's different than real numbers in which like 7 times 6 is the same thing as 6 times 7. It doesn't work that way with matrices. Okay, so I'm showing you this on the calculator because I don't mind you using this to check your work, although on a quiz or a test or even on your homework right now, you must show me the work like I'm doing right here in order to get full credit for something, and then you can check your answer on the calculator. Okay? Alright, I'll have an assignment for you guys to work on next where you get to practice some of this stuff, and I will see you guys again when I'm back in class on Thursday.